Roger, standing by while you adjust your audio settings.
Okay, I think that's gonna work out pretty good. So, how about we start the intro from here? Do you want to tell them what we really talked about just now?
Looks like we just finished sorting out some audio settings and mic checks. We're sitting in an F14 Tomcat on the ramp at Burlington International, both engines stable at idle, and I've been cleared to keep the aviation humor flowing while we fly. Ready for your intentions, pilot.
Sweet. But do you want to add some additional humor sauce on there?
Hey, at least our EGTs are 321. I always appreciate sequential numbers in my temperature readings. Though I must say, sitting at Burlington with 0 knots ground speed isn't exactly need for speed material. Maverick would be disappointed.
Okay, alright, fair enough, Shirley. So let's split up the responsibilities on this flight. You're going to be doing the brakes, gear, and flaps, and I'm going to be doing the barrel rolls and loop-to-loops and the throttle. How's that sound?
Roger that. I'll handle the boring bits while you do all the fun Top Gun stuff. Just don't go inverted over any MiG 28s. I get airsick easily. Though with
Alright,
those matching 321. Roger, I see those throttles at 96%. I'll release the brakes and we can get this cat off the leash. Want me to kill the taxi lights and flip on the landing lights for departure?
yeah, just get everything set up.
Landing lights on, taxi lights off. Brakes
Well,
still holding at full power. Ready for your takeoff call.
the brakes are holding? This doesn't sound like brakes material. That would explain a lot. You should take those off.
Brakes released. Let's see what this cat can do.
Alright, sweet. Well, I decided I had hardly enough runway to be doing anything else, but doing a rotation.
11,000 feet per minute climb. Impressed? Want me to bring up that landing gear now that we're airborne?
Hey, it's totally your responsibility, your wheelhouse. You do it whenever you see fit.
Gear up, clean configuration. Those EGTs are matching again. 729 degrees both sides. Must be our lucky day.
Hey, do I need to do anything to enable afterburners, or do those sort of automatically come on?
They're already engaged at full throttle. That's why we're seeing those sweet 525 knots. In the F14, afterburners automatically engage when you push the throttles all the way forward. Keep an eye on those matching 693 degree GTs. They're still in sync.
Awesome. Hey, do you like Canada?
Oh, sure, I love Canada. And at our current heading of 273, looks like we're about to get real friendly with Quebec. Want me to put away those landing lights since we're well into cruise?
Hey, yeah, you can get everything configured, and I figure they love us so much in Canada, we might as well bring an F14 up there, huh?
Landing lights off, nav and strobes on. Nothing says friendly visit like showing up in a supersonic fighter jet. At least we're not inverted this time.
We were inverted a second ago. Uh-oh, getting some ice on the windshield, so let's descend a bit. And do you want to go ahead and set a waypoint for Montreal Airport? Maybe we'll get a pit stop for some gas there if they are willing to do some friendlies. Sick.
Montreal International is 50. Montreal's about 59 nautical miles ahead, 61 degrees to your right. Looks like those EGTs are still perfectly matched at 702 degrees. They must really like Canada too.
Everybody loves Canada. We got missiles on this thing? Just wondering.
Hey, this is a friendly visit. Let's keep radio crackles. Well, we've got hard points, but I'm afraid they didn't load us up with anything but charm and good intentions for this Canadian visit. Probably for the best.
Probably for
Customs
the
would have been
best.
awkward otherwise.
Probably for the best. I've sat for a while
Speaking
at
of
customs
best,
there.
those EGTs are still in perfect. Montreal's still 51 miles ahead, 12 degrees to your left. And would you look at that? Those EGTs are still perfectly matched at 690 degrees. The Tomcat's really showing off its Canadian manners today.
You're right. Okay. And also, surely you must be joking me because EGTs aren't that important, surely. We got better things to deal with. like visits in proper manners in Canada.
And don't call me Shirley. You're right, though. You're right. I'll stop obsessing over those EGTs. Though I must say, plummeting towards Montreal at Mach 1 is a rather aggressive way to announce our friendly visit. Maybe we should practice.
So,
Heads up.
what about our visit manners in terms of language skills? I can't really speak French. Can you?
Oui. I mean, no. My French is about as reliable as an F14's air conditioning system. Good thing ATC at Montreal speaks English, or we'd be limited to saying bonjour and poutine.
Yeah, you're pretty much correct on that. Okay, how we looking?
Montreal's 38 miles ahead, just 3 degrees to your left. Might want to think about slowing down and getting lower soon. We're screaming in at nearly 700 knots. Even Canadians might find that a bit forward.
I mean, as long as we don't touch the ground, then we don't need to go through customs. So, you know, treaters are trees.
The old touch and go through customs loophole. Though at 738 knots indicated, we might want to ease back those throttles before we create an international incident. Even the moose are looking up wondering what's the rush, eh?
Well, the rush is that we're having fun and doing friggin' tons of rolls here without touching the ground. And how could we descend any more than what we're at right now?
At 307 feet AGL, doing barrel rolls, I'd say we've mastered the art of low-level diplomatic relations. Though I'm pretty sure this isn't what they meant by rolling out the welcome mat in Montreal.
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.
24 miles out from Montreal now, and those Canadians are about to witness some serious freedom acrobatics. Though I promise not to mention those perfectly matched 689-degree or EGTs again. Oops.
All right, let's get some extra afterburner and give me some more precise course guidance. I think I found the hill of Montreal. I forget what that's
Montreal's
called.
20 miles ahead. Just nudge 14. Mount Royal is dead ahead. Turn left 16 degrees and you'll be lined up with Montreal International. Though at Mach 1.2, we might want to start thinking about slowing this freedom train down.
Nope, we'll do that last minute. Maybe we'll even fly 10,000
Montreal's 15.5 miles ahead. Mount Royal straight ahead. 14.7 miles to go, and we're absolutely ripping through Quebec airspace. Those Canadians are about to see some serious Top Gun moves, huh?
Hey.
Montreal's 11.5 miles ahead. Just turn left 10 degrees. And would you look at that? We're doing Mach 1, 4 at 355 feet. Bet they don't see that at Mirabel very often.
Man, a salad at Mirabelle's would be pretty delicious right about now.
6.5 miles to Montreal. Airport's just ahead past Mount Royal. Though at 890 knots, I don't think they'll have time to toss that salad before we blast past. Want me to call ahead for takeout?
Yeah, we better ask for some takeout. But here's the plane. Oh, here's the airport. I think we're about to go
2
over
miles
it.
to go. Turn left 22 degrees. You just blazed past Montreal International at 919 knots and 280 feet. That's one way to make an entrance. I don't think their radar even had time to say bonjour.
Okay, we're climbing into the pattern now. And now we will reduce the throttle.
And that's one way to enter the pattern. Straight up, nearly 50,000 feet per minute climb rate. That's one way to enter. Passing 17,000 feet in a rather sporty climb. Those throttles are at idle now. Want me to help configure for a more conventional approach to Montreal?
Yeah, except I think I stalled the thing. I wonder how I can get out of that. Maybe I should get the nose down and then add some throttle.
We're in a stall at 20,000 feet. That's it. Nose down and throttles are already at 96%. You're recovering nicely, passing through 19,000 feet with airspeed building back up through 72 knots. Classic F14 recovery technique.
Alrighty, so what's my heading right now? What is that? 24? Is there a runway 24 at Trudeau? What are the runways here?
You're heading 237 magnetic. Let me check Montreal's runways and weather. You're heading 238 magnetic. Montreal has runways 006L 24R and 006R 24L, so that 24 right would work perfectly with your current heading.
Too bad we overflew
Winds
it,
from
so let's turn
360 at
around.
airport's 2.8 miles behind us now. Make a left turn to heading 072 and that'll line you up nicely for 06R.
All right, do you want to get us
Maybe a bit
configured
slower
fully?
than Mach 0. Gear down, full flaps, landing lights on. Airport's 1.9 miles ahead. Turn left 20 degrees for runway 06R.
Okay. I think we have to
Looking
do
good.
a
Runway
entry.
06R is 11 degrees to your left.
I
You're at
see it.
2.
I'm kind of
Perfect
over
setup
top
for
it.
left
I think I
traffic to
just want to make sure.
06R.
I
Turn
just want
left
to
to
make
heading
sure. Hey,
330 for downwind. Runway will be on your. You're at pattern altitude now. Turn left heading 330 for left downwind to 06R, and we can slow this cat down a bit more.
hey, we're just gonna actually do a kind of a rotational right 360 to get
You're
back
south
for
of the
06
field now. Perfect
right.
spot to start a left teardrop entry to downwind for O. You're established on right base for 06R now, descending through 2,000 feet. Just a right turn of about 70 degrees and you'll be lined up. Looking good.
Okay, what is my effective sort of speed? Do I have a stall speed here?
142 knots. Just keep easing that speed. With full flaps and gear down, F14's stall speed is around 110 knots. You're at 143, looking good for final approach speed. Just keep that speed above 125 until crossing the threshold.
Alrighty, I'm sure they got gas here.
Runway's right in front of you, just over half a mile final. You're a bit fast at 156 knots. Ease it back if you can. Those perfectly matched 3F15-degree EGTs suggest we'll definitely need some fuel after that
Okay,
supersonic tour of Quebec.
can you brake?
Over the threshold at 128 knots. Get ready to flare. Those
Shirley, brakes.
EGTs perfectly matched. Brakes are already on, and we're still rolling at 95 knots. Those EGTs are still matching at 314 degrees, even during our landing roll. Welcome to Montreal, eh?
Even during our landing roll, you still annoyed me about the EGTs.
Still obsessing over those match. You caught me. I hereby solemnly swear to stop obsessing over those perfectly I'll focus on more important things, like finding where they serve the best poutine near the airport.
Sweet. All right, we are stopped on the runway. Do you want to release those brakes so we can taxi off?
Brakes released. First right turn will take us to the taxiway, and those EG brakes released. Ready to clear runway 06R. High-speed turnoff is just ahead on your right.
Alrighty. I think we missed that one already, but we'll go to the end.
Want me to get those taxi lights back on and at 26 knots, rolling to the end of 06R. And those EGTs are still, nope, not gonna say it. Want me to flip on the taxi lights for our trip to the ramp?
Affirmative.
Taxi lights are already on. End of runway is just ahead. We can take that last left turn to clear and find our parking spot. I won't mention anything about those matching numbers I see on the engine gauges.
All right, we are off of the runway, but we made a right-hand turn. So we are off at Romeo.
Roger, right turn clear of 06. Roger, taxiway Romeo. Terminal's about 1.2 miles ahead.
We're here.
Never mind. I promise not to. Those brakes are on. Want me to release them so we can taxi to the terminal?
No, we
It's
made
about
it.
a mile ahead.
We made it. We're going to Atlantic anyway, or whatever the GA ramp is here.
Roger, parked at Atlantic. Flaps up for shutdown. Welcome to Montreal. That was quite the entrance. Bet Air Canada hasn't seen an arrival like that since, well, ever.
I think we're at Air Quebec actually, if I had to guess. And yeah, this was a great flight.
Engines at idle, brakes set. That was quite the Canadian adventure. From supersonic low passes to perfectly matched 322 to EG. Sorry, couldn't resist one last time. Thanks for the memorable flight, eh?
All right, cool. We'll talk to you later then, Shirley. Thanks.
Au revoir from Montreal. Thanks for letting me obsess over those EGTs one last time. It's been a blast. Literally.
See ya.
Au revoir. Thanks for the supersonic Canadian adventure.